presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Phil in Puerto Rico. Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, doing great. Just wanted to thank you guys and the whole crew. Best content on the internet. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Phil, how did you find us?
I just typed in live trading in YouTube one morning.
Cool.
I was looking for any type of live trading room. You guys came up, and
awesome.
I know quality when I see it, or at least I like to think so. And I mean, you guys are just a dream. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Welcome to the Tiger family. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us.
My pleasure.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Hi, everyone. This is Basil Chapman sitting for Tom O'Brien. This is the Tom O'Brien Show. I usually do the show at noon at 10 o'clock. And my service here at TFNN is the opening call, daily newsletter. And even more important than that, the Dow is making a new recovery high at this particular time. Let me just show you a couple of things real quickly in the Chapman wave methodology right here. We try to identify the lowest low bar, count each successively higher peak, alphabetize them sequentially all the way from A to G. But it's at that fourth highest peak, A, B, C, D, at that D. That's the objective in the Chapman wave methodology, to get you from a buy signal to a buy mode, to get you to at least a D. Then other things can happen. Where are we? We are right now in leg D, the missing leg D that we've been talking about for about 2 weeks now. And that's really important. Why? Because we're trading at the high of the day of 34,883. The all-time high is at 35,091. Also a peak D back on May the 10th. And what we're looking at here is at the weekly chart, because of this cup formation, it's really important. I like to look at formations that repeat over and over. And here we go. Look at this. This cup formation, we rally up and then make a cup formation and take out the left side high. That's really important, because on the way down, you can see when you go down, you go below the left side low, other things can happen. So this is very important. We're about, in the weekly chart, to test the left side high of 35,091, a significant breakout into the 35,150s or higher next week will be really important. Let's go on, and we're now looking at key support in the Dow at 34,400s. Let's go to the S&P. The S&P at this moment is, there are the S&P. New all-time high, broke out from the high of 3 days ago of 4361.88. We're trading at 4370.12. Really important, because this breakout here in the daily chart has such good technicals. I'm going to be talking about the technicals in my webinar coming up. It's an all-day webinar Wednesday. It's coming up this coming Wednesday the 14th. I'll just show you this real quickly here while we're at it. If I can get to it right there. If you go to the front page of TFN, you'll see it's really a fantastic deal. I've tried to make it just the best I could, because there is so much to discuss, and what an important period it is. So with my multi-day webinar, all day, 9 o'clock to 4:30 on Wednesday, July the 14th, you're going to get all these different techniques I'll be talking about in the show, because every single thing's showing up, even here in the little bit of, you see this little D here with a yellow circle, that's called the Chapman Wave Instant Restart. It says you can go all the way to a whole brand new 4 peaks higher. That's how nice that technique is when it works. And so that'll be Wednesday the 14th, and we'll follow up 2 weeks later with a live 2-hour course, because you'll have 2 weeks to practice these techniques, and we'll go through it in great detail for the 2-hour course 2 weeks later. So let me get back to our markets. Why? Because this is a really important moment going into the end of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a pullback towards the end of the day, but this is spectacular work. Now, look, someone had asked me earlier during my show, the Tiger Technicians Hour at 10 o'clock, why I was talking about how rotations work. Well, sector by sector, we've seen that when one sector is really working, other sectors seem to decline. And all of us, the Russell 2000 was declining while the NASDAQ was making all-time highs. All of a sudden, the NASDAQ's pulled back for 2 days off its 362.76 all-time high. It's not weak, but it just has pulled back. And in that time, the WM, the Russell 2, I should mention just for clarity's sake that we are long the Dow. We've been waiting we've been long since March of last year, since the low of last year. And we had added a trading position. We got out of the position on the slide yesterday, tried to get back in today, but haven't been able to do that. Look at the IWM. The IWM at this particular moment, oh, no charts. Sorry. No charts, no charts. Oh, there was a lot of talking there for no charts because I had to restart. Yep, there we go. There are the charts. So let me just do this real quickly for those people in the Dow. Look, INDU, this is the Dow going to a leg D, but it's under the previous all-time high leg D. If it breaks out to a new high, that'll become weekly chart G/C, and that's going to be really important. The S&P, let me show you because we didn't have charts. This is a new leg. G/B, it really looks like a B because the MACD is so strong. Stochastics at 93%. This is really good action. Got to the Qs. Remember the Qs 3 days ago made its all-time high. A little weaker over the last 2 days, but nothing weak about today. 2.35 up at 361.12. $1.50 below its all-time high of 3 days ago. But in this particular interim period, look what's happened. The IWM has had a spectacular move from the low that it made in the 218s yesterday. Here it is at 226. It's up 2%, one of the bigger percentage gainers. And that's what I was talking about when I was talking about in my show, that there's this rotation going on. And what happens in rotations is that as one sector takes a breather, another keeps coming on. And that, as long as that keeps up, you've got a mega bull that should continue. Let me show you something else. We're going to go to gold. Gold is holding quite nicely here. It's up 11, 18, 12. It's in this consolidation phase, but if it can break into the 1827, 1832 area by next week early, that'll be good. The big thing here is the TLT. Look at this move. The TLT makes in the Chapman wave. It goes to peak F, pulls back, 149.44, and now it's pulling back. So we got to keep a note of that. Crude oil was a big factor earlier in the week, and now all of a sudden it's running sharply. Big move today, up $1.74 at 74.67. The 76.68.98 high at a peak G just the other day. Hey, that was a very sharp decline, but look how nicely it is. Now, I just wanted to show you this before we go to a break. This is Basil Chapman sitting in for Tom O'Brien. I discussed this on my show earlier this morning. We were right here at 10 o'clock. Where was my show? 10. Here we go. At 10 o'clock, I said, we've got a crossover in the 1 minute chart of the ESU. I did this in great detail. I was showing it that we moved higher. And if these are the techniques I'm going to be discussing a week from this coming Wednesday. Because if you use this technique, look, when this crossed positive, you could have held all the way through a green line, gave you the buy signal. Look at this, from the break at 1 o'clock this morning, that's the last night at 1 o'clock, all the way through to right now, and you would have gone from 4,300 to 43.61, and you still haven't had a sell signal in the 10-minute chart. Amazing action. I'll be back in a few moments. Basil Chapman sitting for the one and only Tom O'Brien. Took a break today, and it's my pleasure to be here. I am the author of the opening call. Be back in a moment.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TESS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TESS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TESS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi everyone, we're back. So high-grade copper. High-grade copper is within a trading band. It's trying to rally off the most recent low that was at 4 point, the continuous contract that was 4.0855, and that was on the 21st of June. Yeah, this is quite good action. It's not great action. I kind of put it together with wood, which is the iShares. This is the Global Timber and Forestry ETF. It's trading in leg D in the daily, but it had a huge decline after a massive move to the upside. It took a huge dive. Look at this. It took a dive. It went from 98.98 down to the 83 level. Now it's trading up at 89.51. That's a good, I'd call it a bounce, but it's already in leg D. And that says there's probably a little bit of a struggle going on here. It's almost like the copper chart. And and within this context, it just says that there's some kind of a slowdown in the whole industry. But now I'm looking at the XLB. This is the materials ETF. Look at this, S&P Select Materials Spider Fund. And look what happened. 80.72 was the low mid-June. And then in early July, it retests. Yesterday, it tested 80.67. It goes to a lower low. Now, you remember the pattern that I was showing you just a little earlier in the Chapman wave methodology? All these patterns that we're going to be discussing in great detail in my coming up webinar. Well, have a look at this. Here's your H pattern. It comes sharply down. Remember, patterns are made up of three designs: straight up, straight down, cup formation, arch formation. Well, we've got a straight down, number 1 and 3 are mixed here with an arch, and usually the arch fails at an A or a B. Sometimes it goes to a C like it did here, just a modest new high. And then what actually, this is almost, I would be surprised if this is an A, B, C. This is actually a D. And then it pulls back. And what happens when I need to check that, because when that's clear and it goes to a D in this particular pattern, that means it's had a mature look. 82, 84, 82, 90, 82. I thought so. I thought there was a little problem here. C goes to a D. Now, in an arch formation in this dreaded H pattern, the lowercase h, when there is a turn down and you've gone full to A, B, C, D on the upside, when you come down, you could break this low, but it's usually you've used up upside strength. and you've used downside strength, and this is a brand new buy if the technicals turn up, which they've done. So this XLB at 83.05 up $1.66 over the left side high, that peak D high, is really positive. It doesn't make it massively bullish, but it's really positive in the sense that you're forming a terrific base in the 81 to 80 area. And it says that if next week I can now put in a new, usually I can't put an up arrow, but if you've gone above the down arrow, this is the most unusual chart in the Chapman methodology. So I'm just going to say to you that this is a very positive gap to the upside in the XLB, the S&P Select Materials Spider Fund. And that if it can continue higher, and if it can close above the gap down ugly bar of the 17th of June, the high of 83.71, it's at 83.20 was the high, it's at 83.03. If it can do that within 2 days, I would say that's really positive. We could even get to the 84, 85 area, and then we might see a little resistance. But so far, that's a good sign. I'm calling it a gray leg A because we haven't got any real confirmation. The stochastic's only at 45. I like 80%, and the MACD is just turning positive as you speak. The monthly chart and the weekly chart, the monthly chart is still very strong. The weekly chart's kind of weak. So we're going to be watching that closely. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about in terms of these double bottom patterns. So there was talk today. I had a question about, yesterday I had a question about FCX, and I said, yep, it's holding quite nicely at this low. At that point, it was just starting to test the left side low, 3407. That was the low of the June the 17th. So yesterday it goes to 33.57. That's the dreaded H. But it becomes a successful test of the H pattern if the technicals are higher than they were on the previous low. That's number one. And so I just need to answer my engineer. No sound. There are. I'm doing this blind, just doing it on the technicals of the timer and the speaker. So that gap to the upside in FCX is not comparable yet to the HGX, that's copper's move, which is kind of okay, but not great. Look, this is a nice move. If Sunday night to Monday, you're looking at copper over 4.41, that's going to be really good, and that's really going to help FCX, which is Freeport-McMoRan, which has come down in a sell mode in the daily from 46.10 on the 10th of May. That's the day that the Dow made its all-time high. It's come down all the way to 33. That's a 13-point move. That's a big move. So what we are looking at here is this is the start. So you've got a Chapman wave falling axe formation. This is resistance. These are techniques I'm going to teach you. Look, you see this? I turn this into, you might not have all these techniques in TradeStation. They have it. It's really nice. All these software programs are just really good. Some have specific things. In this case, they've always made a big deal about the technicals. And what we are looking at is within the context of the pattern that I call the Chapman wave. This is, look at, you see this little mini down channel? That's called the repellent zone. So the Chapman wave, this is a breakout when you go above it, and it becomes a repellent zone. Look, every time it came in, it got pulled back. Now, if we're looking at FCX climbing to anywhere around 37, 35, perhaps on Monday, even if there's a bit of a pullback, but if it manages to get there by Tuesday or Wednesday and holds, that's going to improve the stochastic, which is at 44%, and the on-balance volume is not showing tremendous signs of upside action. So this island reversal has to prove itself by at least, you have to have at least a week's worth of action above that, not getting close to filling the gap. So so far, that's a good sign. Anyone who did get in yesterday, or even you're nibbling in right now, you know that you give it a point or so as a stop. But so far, this is nice bounce action. But this is what I'm talking about. When someone said to me, hey, you got your leg D in the Dow, but you talk about this rotational correction. Are you kidding me? Look at this. While the NASDAQ 100 was going to all-time highs, since May, the S&P, the first of all, copper and FCX in particular has plummeted. I mean, this is a big drop. Look at that weekly. It's got almost an Eiffel Tower feel to it. So I'm just saying this is a bounce as far as I'm concerned. You need more proof to be able to say that this is a real takeoff moment. Question I had about GDX. Yep. Oh, I haven't finished that. So let me just finish that. GDX up nicely, up 75 cents at 34.43. See, here's the pattern that I was talking about. When you can get this rising lows and much higher rising highs, and then you break the support level, it's really important where you break it from. In this case, peak C or a D. That says you've used up upside energy. You need a breather, but it doesn't mean that you have to break down completely to go to the left side low, in this case of 30.64. So the GDX, while gold is held nicely, the GDX is doing just okay. Question from Joe in Colorado. Could I look at TSM? Oh, that's Taiwan Semiconductor, I bet. Yes, in fact, we want to look at the semiconductors. As soon as we turn, just about to go to a break. Gives me just a chance to update this. You see the sideways move of the dreaded HTTP?
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, we're back, and this is what we're looking at. You've got the E-mini is up 48, and the 1 minute chart is just saying there's some signs of a little bit of weakness here, not enough yet to say, yep, that's just a 1 minute chart. 2 minute chart is giving some signals, and that 10 minute chart says, you have to wait. We'll follow it. We'll see what happens. Some people are saying we'd love some selling into the close. Sounds like Basil would not be short the S&P or the Qs. True. Oh, at this particular point on a 1 minute basis, that's one thing. Overall, this is really good action, and it comes at the right time. So we had. So the question was. I'm going to go to the question, which is right here. I'm sorry, Joe couldn't speak to me live because I'm just having trouble with the oral part of my thing, not the speaking part, just the speaker part. So Joe in Colorado would like to look at the TSM. So, and the question here is, Jimmy's holding the July 16 call on the TSM, July 16 call, but he didn't tell me what price. Ooh, that's a pity. So, so let's just imagine that he's in a call. It's at 120 right now. I can't guess what it is, but I'm going to discuss the pattern itself. First of all, this is really strong action. So the semiconductors, the SMHs, and this is, of course, a very big part of the semiconductor, has had a really nice bounce. It's filled in the gap from yesterday. It's trading at 257, made an all-time high of 262.49, and was a clue that we were about to have a dip. That dip lasted all of overnight, and that's it. So what we're looking at here, and of course, when we talked about overnight last night, yesterday my Chapman wave trend gauge suggested that there should be a sharp move up in the S&P futures, and it should happen between 1 or 2 days. It happened last night going into today. So that's fantastic. I haven't got any signals for Monday, but at this particular point, that is good. So now, and remember, I'm anticipating in the last 20 minutes that there will be some selling, because when I'm trying to work out, I've spent a lot of time over the last 3 months. One of the reasons why I wanted to have this webinar on Wednesday is to talk about the things I look at in the market to give me clues. But at the same time, I've also been working very hard to be able to do maybe 1 or 2 trades in a day, trying to get the low or the high of the E-mini, the S&P. It could be any of them, but I'm doing the S&P. Whereas, like today, I said, if you bought this and you were holding it all the way through in the 5 minute and the 10 minute charts, I haven't had a signal yet to say that it's about you got to take it off. I would take it off just because of money management. So we'll get to that. So TSM, part of the semiconductors. I think the semiconductor has a chance to go to this leg D in the weekly chart. I never thought so, but now I do think so. I never thought so earlier in the week because it was starting to look very weak. But now I think, yes, there's a chance that by Monday or next week, we make that leg D to the upside, and that's above 262.49. So Taiwan Semiconductor, because you're holding calls and not puts, I don't know what, there you are. The TSM is 115 to 120 calls spread. Okay. Now we can talk apples to apples. What we're looking at is so far, you're very close to looking really good. So if I'm looking at this, and this should go to, I need to talk about Chapman wave methodology. All right. In the Chapman wave methodology, this peak C that took a big dip from the 15th of June at 122, a round number high, that's always important, pulls back to 112, gaps up, and rallies to 120, then pulls back, goes to 121.05, has a sharp pullback yesterday to the 115s, and now is trading up. If there is a move above 121.05, that becomes leg C. Now, I constantly call this a great, I'm putting this in, but it isn't true because we haven't gone above that high. But I'm just saying, C, I'm going to make this very faint because this is to give you a clue of what to look for. If it stalls underneath 122.00 and then starts to move up, if it goes to a peak C below 122, pulls back, when it breaks above the peak C that it makes in this new move, and it goes above 122, that's called with confluence, you've got an overlapping leg D, and that's usually very powerful. And then you've got to be careful because you could come back to test the 122 level. I love what's going on right now. Why does it keep doing that? I love what's going on right now. I think this is acting very, very well. And it says that in the weekly chart, the lowercase h, remember we were talking about this, can then go to a lowercase m. And that's going to be very important because if it takes out the high in this move, maybe by next week, if it takes out 127.40, I'm just saying this because everything's amazing in this market, so I don't want to skip something. That would be really positive and say you could go all the way back to 142.20, the all-time high, back on the back in March of this year. So what's really important is this is just an H going to a lowercase m, and then if it breaks above 122, the round number 22, it's very positive. Then what you've done is you've turned 122 into some kind of support. Earl in Seminole wants to know about silver. I hope that helps you. Now, I just need to tell you that your key support, just on a very short term, you've got a week to go. So on a very short term basis, 119.30 to 118.80 should be your support, and it shouldn't last for more than 1 to maximum of 2 days, and then quickly go back to 119.50 to 120.50. That's the way it works in this particular pattern right now. Speed. I'm going to be in my webinar. I'm going to discuss speed. What happens with the speed, and why you've got to look at it as important a component as price, time, anything. The speed of the next move up in the waveform is always really important. Let's look at silver. I had a call earlier on in my show, the Tiger Ignitions Hour, and I said it's not looking great, and what it needs to do is that it's trading silver continuous contract at 26.24, up 25 points. It's quite nice. It's a nice candle because it's overlapping yesterday's high and low. It stopped dead at the 14-period moving average. And what I said is it's really important based on the patterns that I'm looking at because it's peak A, peak B. In the 120-minute chart, it was really important. What I said was 26.38 to 26.42. I believe those were the numbers. If it can get there by Sunday night and then Monday can actually rally a little bit further, it takes a very weak chart formation, which is really the arch, this H pattern, the arch pattern, and it will turn it into something a little bit more positive. But overall, unless silver gets a real kick to move sharply higher, the daily and weekly charts are really just mediocre at best, and it has this Chapman wave falling axis. There's another pattern that I'll be talking about. I talk about this pattern all the time. Let me just get to it real quickly. You see that pattern? You go rally, 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 then you make lower highs and lower lows, and you form a base, and then you break that resistance to go 1 for 1 to the upside. Well, the same thing can happen upside down. And if you do that, this is the one that I was talking about before. If you can go to a COD and then fail, you've got to be real careful. In this case, you've had a number of peaks to the upside, peak A, peak B, peak C, and then it starts over again. And what I am saying is that silver has the same pattern in the weekly chart. That at any point in the next 2 weeks, if silver takes that 25.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi, folks, we're back, and I just wanted to show you how long. Look, there's a pattern, another thing that I'll be talking about in the webinar coming up this coming Wednesday. I mean, what to do? $2.99 for the whole thing. You get my newsletter for free for a month. You also get one-to-one explanations of what's going on, and you ask me questions. We deal with those questions right away. Look at this. This is the 10-minute chart. Right now, it's the first time we're getting some kind of a signal to say there could be some kind of a pullback, but it hasn't gone negative yet. So if you were long from that moment when we were talking about it at 10 o'clock, you could still remain long, or you could be taking some money off. Look, look how long the rectangle formation can last. Look at that. And if we start to break down, you see this at 43.58 is trading at 43.60 right now. 43.38 says, hey, good chance to test the 200-period moving average of 43.56. That's what you anticipate if there's a break, but you only wait for it. Look, finally, you've got the 1 minute turning down. You've got a sign that says the 2 minutes could very well turn down as some profit taking is, but that's just anticipation. Here, you should still be holding until you get the signs, and I'll teach you how to hold those signs. And as I say, I've been working real hard, and we'll discuss it. How is it possible that you can make one trade and leave it with a trading stop, and you come back at night, or you come back, you just leave it and do your other stuff, and you come back and see where it is? I mean, that's a fantastic. I've worked a lot over the last 3-4 months working on ways to be able to do that. Had a question about the U.S. steel. Yes, another big move up. You see what I'm talking about? As one sector starts to digest huge gains, another sector has digested huge gains, is attempting to rally. Well, a gap up today, it's up $1.84, 24.47. But if you look at the SLX, which is the U.S. steel, this is the steel ETF. This is the Van Eck Vector Steel ETF. That monthly chart is fantastic. The weekly chart has had a pretty decent look. Look at all the Fibonacci levels that have been hit. It's holding the 14-period moving average. It's above the 9. Excuse me. It's used time to consolidate. And we'll see on Monday, on Tuesday, if there's a continuous rally now in Alcoa and U.S. Steel, you'll be seeing an improving steel sector. You'll see improving in those materials that we were just discussing. A question came up about I have a Chapman Wave trend gauge reading. Yesterday, 2 days ago, very, very high readings and said that even though there could be sharp pullbacks, expect at least a really good bounce where we've got those bounces. And now I've got a very low reading. That very low reading says, hey, I can't believe that I'm saying this. The Dow is up 441 points. It says that there's a chance that sometime early on Monday morning, there could be a negative Dow before it attempts to rally. That's what this indicator says. Now, this indicator used to have an unbelievable 97, 98% accuracy rate. I'm talking about not years, but decades. But and it's got nothing to do with Richard Arms. It just is his way of the derivation, the highs and lows subtracted from the volume up and down. But what's really important about this is that, for me, I've used only numbers for years and years, and it's had a spectacular run. I'd say it's not as on options expiration day, the following Monday, those are the two misses that it's had. So it's come back from very big gains to almost negative, but it never went to negative. So what I'm saying is, this is the period where let's see if it works, to see if there's a little bit of a dip on Monday before there's some kind of a pullback. And usually the last hour rally, you start to see, if there's a big rally, you start to see some kind of a big give back between the futures overnight going into the next session, which will be Sunday night into Monday. So let's monitor that really closely. A couple of other questions I had. Oh, yes, I had this written down from early this morning. I think I mentioned it on my show in the Tiger Technicians Hour, but I maybe not. Look, this H pattern, which went to a lower low in the IYT, the iShares Dow Jones Transportation Average Industrial Fund. What a big name. Question in the Tiger YouTube. I'll get to that in a moment. See this gap? Went to a lower low, and this is the 282.40, the high of the 10th of May, plummets down to the 256 low of 251 was it? 251.78 low of yesterday. Nice gap to the upside. So we're going to see, is this down? So the technique that I was talking about, that what I call the falling axe formation, let me just get to this right now. So that's this pattern right here. See, run up and then at D, E, or F, very often you come down, you just make lower highs and lower lows, and eventually you turn around. Well, let's see if this is going to do the same thing right here. See this trend line? I have to move it a little bit. I'm going to make it kind of, it's a little messy, but it's there. And that says that if the transportation index next week, I usually say if it can just pop above, not good enough. It has to close in the 263 to 265 area. That'll be the first really good sign in ages that the transports are able to find some strength, and that's going to be a big deal. And so question in the den is, could I just show that live again? Yes. Look, we went underneath from the rectangle formation. What happens very often is it goes for a while in the rectangle formation. Then if it's not able to break above it and treat this as now support and pops up and it comes back down and breaks the support level, very often it happens so suddenly, it's like it has to go back to say goodbye to its friends and never even had a chance to say goodbye. And then you've got to watch, because if it makes a lower low after this particular move now, if it goes under 4358.50, that means there could be selling into the close. So those of you who are looking for a chance for some selling into the close, or to prepare for some kind of Sunday night, Monday action, this is what I'd be watching for. But believe me, the S&P, the breakout, is very important, that what it's done right now. And I think that a 1 minute, 2 minute, 10 minute basis, absolutely have no problem shorting. But in the bigger picture, I think there was a significant break to the upside today in all the indices. So let me just show you a couple of things that I'd written that I wanted to do. I had questions about where did it go? Oh, yes. So look at this. So the IWM, the Russell 2000, I should mention, we are along the Russell 2000. IWM right here. We've been long for quite some time. Let me just get that notation there. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. We're long from 173 back in November. We've taken little bits off, and I was actually looking to put back on if there was any chance, because if it was going to fail, I didn't want anything to do with it. This is a dreaded H. It went to a leg C, but this rebound is impressive so far. But I'll only be impressed if any weakness next week holds at 226.25 right now. It holds, what's the low? I don't even want to break the low. 223.34, cannot break it. If it holds 224 all of first 3 days of next week, and then rallies to 227 or higher, actually I want 230. If it can rally to 230 to test the Chapman wave inside track, another technique I'll be teaching. How does this work? Look how often this thing hits. I'm actually going to raise it for now. I like to be as conservative as possible. So I'm raising this and saying now it's in the 231 area. If at any point it gets there and then gets repelled again, it says that rectangle formations, I like to teach about that. They're really important, so keep that in mind. So here we go, rectangle formation. You need to see 235 or higher next week for the IWM to say, no, I'm doing just fine. At this point, it's really holding pretty well, just a few points of its all-time high, but it was the weakest, and today it's one of the strongest. I love that. This is the rotation. So I don't know, there's no question in my mind.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, folks. So we're back. Basil Chapman sitting for Tom O'Brien, one and only Tom O'Brien. So we're looking at 462 up on the Dow, 49 up in the S&P. And look, the E-mini futures, that 10-minute chart still has given no signal from early this morning, 1 a.m. No sell signal, not one. And it's still in place. That's a technique that I'll be teaching in my course coming up Wednesday. Check out the front page of TFNN. It should be really illustrative, especially even if you don't know anything about the Chapman wave methodology. There are so many things here that have nothing to do with wave counts. It just has to do with other things. So what we are looking at here is that the Dow has made a new recovery high. The S&P. So a question about Tilray. I wouldn't touch Tilray. I'll do it again on Monday. But Tilray, just be careful. It's just doing nothing. That whole area, MJ, the alternative harvest, that whole sector is cannabis sector is just doing nothing right now. So let me just do this as we're about to wrap up here. Look, the Dow. Not an all-time high. It has to get to 35,092 for an all-time high. It is at 34,873, almost a day's high. This could turn into a Marabuza candle. No wicks. That's amazing. The S&P. Look at this. The S&P broke out, and it could be a G/B. This is in the Chapman methodology. Everything about this with the flat stochastic says it's a B. This is a brand new leg B. There should be higher highs coming next week. Look at the QQQ. 1, 2, 3. There we go. QQQ, not an all-time high, but barely so close to it. So this is an amazing action from that terrible action early yesterday morning. And the IWM, I don't know if the IWM is running extremely well. The MDY, which hardly anybody ever talks about, the mid-caps, also doing well, but it's under the previous high, is trying its best to get going. This is a very important moment. And that IYT, if it can start through this rotation, if it's suddenly the transports can move well, because crude oil, maybe it's stalling here, maybe crude oil, this is the moment that says, yep, it's stuck in this range. We'll be watching it closely. TLT pull back sharply.
Building wealth